if you had to break down Ethereum, how it's performed, its creation, where it is today from say 14 to 22, how would you encapsulate your thoughts on it, the current status, the future of it?
Wow, it's very wide. I think the Ethereum's launch was somewhat unfortunate in that they had like within the founding team the team was split between the purists, the Vitalik side, the developers, and the money people, I think it's unfortunate the money people got the upper hand and pushed to do effectively the pre-mine and the ICO. I think there was a fair chance that it could have been a fair launch. It was similar to Bitcoin, and I think that it would be very different, perceived very differently within at least the Bitcoin world. Um, it's obviously done very, very well. I It's been for my view of it is I think it's been a hotbed of innovation. The flip view of the maxis will say that it's been a hotbed of creating scams and Ponzi schemes. So it's, but yeah, like it has made it very easy for it's made it very, very easy for like many teams to build something and raise lots of money on very flimsy sort of offerings and to make money grabs. And I think that's the downside of it. But I'd also take this view that if you were to look in the 1990s of the World Wide Web, and there was the famous elevator pitch, in 30 seconds while riding the elevator, you could come out with a few $1 million to back your idea. And there's very similar to what was happening in 2017 with a white paper raise. There's an idea. Let's put it on a white sheet of paper and raise, tens, hundreds of millions on it. And so, like, we look at that in the Bitcoin world as like a hotbed of scams, but actually, if you look at the web, out of that came Amazon.com and some very substantial startups that did build key infrastructure for the world. And I think I think it's valid to say that is happening on Ethereum. Out of the what is 10,000 coins out there, a big chunk of them sit on the Ethereum network, and many of them are total crap. But there's some really great innovations, and we've found the limits as well within the scalability of that network. We've found limits on the how bad it is for writing secure code and knowing that your tools to write this stuff should prevent you from cutting yourself, and it hasn't got much of that. The programming language itself is pretty difficult to write something secure, and so like there's a lot of things we've learned from it. And so we've got competing networks now within the smart contracts world that are trying different things, whether it's scalability, and these other ones that are like much more safeguarding against making boo-boos. Like we shouldn't be, if you're writing code, financial code, it should be built in a way that's much stronger. So I think of Ethereum as a very, very successful experimental platform. We've built some really cool stuff on it, and it's huge engagement. It's creaking under the weight of it. It can't scale very well, but we've learned an amazing number of lessons. And I think with the latest Ethereum 2 move and the EIP, Ethereum Improvement Protocol 1559, which is effectively when we pay for fees, some of that is going to burn the Ethereum and create a deflationary pressure on the supply. Ethereum's slowly moving towards a monetary asset where its base layer is really aimed at really making fees expensive. And the trade-off for making it expensive is to boost the market cap because you've created deflationary pressure. So I think the future of Ethereum is a lot of the layer twos. I'm not sure if that'll be the way we really want to take the sort of DeFi stuff global. I don't think that it's safe or easy enough to build rock solid code. And so I think that ultimately it may pivot to being like Litecoin, the silver to Bitcoin gold, or even competing against Bitcoin as another, you got the US dollar and the euro. I think those are our two main monetary networks. And it got there by this sort of ecosystem of innovation and building a lot of apps on it. But I think in the future, it's yet to be seen whether or not the apps that are going to be built on it will continue to be built on it. There's a lot of competition in the platform space, and we've seen in at least in the internet and the computer world that programming languages and programming platforms they move, according to the needs, So, for example, everything used to be coded in this language called C, and it was very bare to the metal. It was very fast, and it was great for like the low compute capabilities we had in the early days. But now everything's online, and so JavaScript and Node is this new language and platform that people code in, and you'll find that people jump from platform to platform to platform. Developers do this because they're looking for the platform that best suits the needs of their app. And I think that we kind of think like some people think of these networks as like Facebook, where you get this lock-in and the network effect's so strong. I don't think that's the case for these DeFi apps. These platforms are platforms, and developers are going to jump between them. If you're running Tether, you're going to run it on Tron. Originally, it was on the Bitcoin blockchain on Omni, and then it jumped to ERC20 on Ethereum, and now it's on Solana as well. So you'll see these apps jump. So I think effectively, Ethereum's on the path to becoming a monetary asset, and it's going to compete. It's going to have to compete with all the other networks coming onto the marketplace.